Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me, Terry? Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to everybody so far who has just been holding it down for this 24 hours of empowerment marathon. You know, I remember the first time that Edeline actually showed or told me about this incredible opportunity, which was some years ago. And I just was in awe of how they were able to really have literally every single hour on the hour, 24 hours of empowerment, and it was so motivating, and it had me so pumped up. And I'm a big believer that how you do anything is how you do everything. So when you start your year off the right way, guess what? You're going to finish your year off the right way. And so this is the perfect place for everybody to be. And make sure, guys, if you haven't registered or if you haven't shared this this information to anybody else, you need to do so. You know, also, I just believe that as well. If you want to have abundance in your life, you also have to be willing to give in abundance. And so if you know that this information has been impacting you thus far and you have not shared it, I'm going to encourage everybody to go out there and share your information. Now, I don't have a lot of time with you guys today, but thank you to We Rock Nation for inviting me to be a part of this, awesome celebration. Y'all, it is 2020. Let me just say something. We survived it. Hello. Like, we survived 2019. I saw a meme out there that said something like, did you survive it? You know, like basically like, what am I grateful for? The fact that you survived 2019. And many of us right now, we can say, you know what? You're right, Taria. I'm so fired up. I'm so pumped up because yes, 2019 was a hell of a year, but 2020, baby, I'm ready to do some work. I'm ready to get into this. Now, the only thing that you must understand, guys, is that in order for 2020 to be your year, you got to be able to work. When we think of 2020, we're thinking double, right? We're thinking clear vision, double the portion with clear vision. But unfortunately, the biggest challenge that I think many of us that are not listening in are going to have to understand is that in order to get double, you must be willing to work quadruple. Do y'all hear me? That means that your energy, that means that your work ethic, that means that your connections, your networks, all of that, it's got to go to a whole nother level, okay? And so this is why you have to stay plugged in for this 24-hour marathon. You know, one thing I'm gonna tell you guys, sometimes, you know, we get inspired and in awe. You know, I had a chance to listen to some of our previous speakers, Danella Burnett, Angie Sims, and many of the other incredible speakers that we have had so far. I've had a chance to listen to them, and sometimes when we listen to those speakers, we're pumped up like, man, you know, like they've got to have that energy to be able to speak for that amount of time. But I want you to also understand, to listen in every single hour on the hour, you must have that energy as well. So guys, I want you to make a commitment to yourself that you're going to go and play full out on every single one of these broadcasts, every single one of these speakers. You're going to listen. You're going to take notes. You're going to put the information that you heard. I hope some of y'all were listening to what Danella just said. She said you need to go and find you some events. You need to put it down, categorize it, and start reaching out. Hopefully some of you guys are going to go take that information and put it into action ASAP. Now, a little bit about myself. You guys heard all those great accolades, but just to kind of break it down and why we're talking about what we're talking about. A few years ago, guys, I was in a network marketing company. I had been able to hit a great level of success in that company, but I also had hit that point in where it's kind of like that glass wall. And I don't know if you guys ever heard about, the glass wall, when people talk about the fact that that you're supposed to be going to a whole nother level, but there's something keeping you from actually going to that next level. Well, for me, I knew that it was time for me to be able to go to the next level in the company that I was in, but I wasn't sure of how to do it. And if I could just be real honest with y'all, I had never wanted to be an author. And I know that's what we're talking about, because to me, I thought writing a book meant writing your biography. And no offense to anybody who has ever, written their biography or memoir or things of that like that. But I know me, Taria Vision Avant, has not lived the best moments of my life. I haven't impacted the people that God has called me to impact. And so I don't want to write a biography, because I know when I start on the biography, next week something new gonna happen and I'll never be able to complete it. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna wait until when God calls me home for somebody somebody to share my stories because that's how many people I've impacted along the way. But long story short, I was in this home-based business company, and I never wanted to write a book, but I had sat down with this gentleman to share with him the information about the company that I was in. Well, you would have thought I told him I was selling all type of illegal products and stuff, because honey, he wasn't trying to hear nothing I had to say. And that's when I realized that even though I had become one of the top income earners in this particular company, I was still put in a position where a lot of people did not respect what I was doing. By the way, shout out to everybody who is watching us live. I love interaction, so please interact, comment, do all that good stuff for your girl so that I can see what's going on over here in these streets. So make sure to comment, tag, post, all that good stuff, and let me know what city and state y'all are chiming in from. But I just was like, okay, I got to figure out a way. And for me, I had went to this workshop. I had invested over $10,000 into this coach to learn how to write a book. So I said, well, let me write this book. And long story short, y'all, the doors that started opening for me were doors that I never imagined. Y'all, I was being invited to speak at so many different events that nobody ever invited me to speak at, from conferences to networking events, all types of stuff, y'all. I'm serious. I was on these stages and I was talking about success principles. And you know what's funny about this? I wrote a book called A Vision to Freedom, How to Truly Live the Life of Your Dreams. The name of the book now is called A Six-Figure Vision. Okay, it's called A Six-Figure Vision because I want to teach people about multiple ways to make money. But in that, nobody ever questioned if I was really living a free lifestyle. Nobody ever questioned if I had done anything in the book, because what happens is when you write a book, people automatically assume you know what the heck you're talking about. So for those of you who are really trying to position yourself as experts, and for those of you who want to increase your reach, for those of you who are wanting to be able to be put into positions where people listen to what you say to buy, or whatever it is, hunty, you need to be an author. Now, where most people mess up is they write books like very linearly connected to what they do. For example, let's just say I know that we have Shirley Xavier listening in right now, and I know that she's in a travel company. Now, what most people will say, okay, well, if I'm in a travel company, maybe I should write a book about about travel. But no, that's not what we necessarily want to write a book about, because you got to think about it, right? Hey, Melissa. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Elisa. Hey, Orlando. Hello. As you guys come on in, definitely, make sure you go to the We Rock page, join over there, and definitely shout yourself out, and also make sure that you guys register. Okay, so register right now so that you can listen to all the We Rock live broadcasts. But anyways, why do people like to travel, right? Think about it. Why do people really like traveling? The reason why people like to travel is maybe it makes them happy. Maybe it gives them freedom. Maybe I don't know, but there's reasons why people like to travel. And so if I was writing a book and I was trying to promote my travel business, what I would do is write a book about living life happily. And one of the ways that you can live life happily is to travel. Girl, get on the road. Get them tickets. Go fly by yourself. Identify who you are. Re-identify you. All that good stuff. You understand what I'm saying out here in these streets? And so what you're going to do, guys, is you're going to write a book that's designed so that you can get in front of people, but you're not going to do it just like how everybody else does it. So let's get into this. I ain't got a lot of time. I got to hurry up, okay? I got to give y'all what I normally spend about a couple of hours. I'm going to try to condense it down into about 20 minutes, okay? Into about 20 minutes. But if you guys are listening live, hold on. One sec. I see some of y'all are in the Facebook group listening live, so make sure that you guys do comment. Let me know what city and state you guys are chiming in from. If you are in the Women Entrepreneurs Facebook group, make sure you shout yourself out. All right, so we're going to talk about three things here, okay, in this next 20 minutes, because I don't have a whole lot of time. I only got a little bit of time. They won't let me speak for 3 hours today, because we got to bring on several speakers, okay? So I know y'all here listening in, but we don't have 3 hours. We only got 20 minutes, okay? So the three things that we're going to talk about is why you need to write a book, how to get started, and marketing your book. But guess what? I want everybody that's listening right now, I want y'all to type #free. Everybody type #free, because I got some free stuff for y'all. Y'all like free 99? I know I like a little free 99. Okay, we got some free 99 for y'all. So if y'all want a little free 99, all you got to do is put a little #free, honey. We gonna hook a sister or hook a brother up, okay? #free. Now, why you need to write a book? Number one, legacy. Let me tell tell you something. I was on Instagram the other day, and this is an unfortunate situation, but a gentleman had wrote this book. He wrote like 3 different books, and unfortunately, God called him to be home with him, right? God called him home, and in this situation, because he wrote those books, y'all, listen to what I'm saying right now. Those books were transferred over to his kids. Do you hear me? That means that his kids are now being able to earn an income from the books that are being sold because he left a legacy. I hear people say all the time, I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave a legacy. Well, number one, the easiest way you can do that is through a book. But number two, think about how many of us have so much value. Think about it, y'all. We have so much value to bring to this world. Things that we have overcome. Things that we have done only in secret. Maybe we've shared to a few people. We've learned how to do. Some of y'all on this line, you know how to do so many things that you don't even think about because you just do it all the time. But when you leave this world, how many of us would miss out on that information that you should be sharing? Think about it. Who's ever overcome any challenges, depression, anxiety, stress? How many of you guys have been able to be fired from a job and bounce back and get back into that position in a new company? How many of you guys have been betrayed by people and you've learned how to overcome those betrayals and still push through and even to this day be back friends with that person who betrayed you? I don't know about you, but honey, those are some things that are difficult. But there's so many things that we know how to do, and we don't think about this as an opportunity to truly be able to leave a legacy here in this world. Number two is because of book. Why you should write a book is because it builds multiple streams of income. Everybody, coin. And I see y'all saying free. Let me see all my free folks in the house. Alisa says free. Lakeisha says free. Anne Maria Cross says free. Portia says free. Tanisha says free. I see y'all. Rhonda says free. Sabrina says free. All y'all talking about that free 99. I got a gift for you. Shirley says free. Okay, holla at your girl. I got y'all. I'm going to hook y'all up with some free stuff. Now, multiple streams of income. So let's just go back to the example of Shirley. We're going to use Shirley as the example, right? So she's in the travel business. But what are some other things in the travel business that we may need? Well, honey, I don't know about you, but I got a girlfriend. Her name is Kitten Gray. And Kitten Gray just came back from Egypt, boo. I got friends that be traveling all over the world. You understand what I'm saying? So let's just say your book is about ultimate happiness, right? And some of the things, what are some other things that make people happy? People like stuff. People like gifts. People like, things like that. And so what if you also, when you invite people to travel all across the world, maybe some people can't come with you. So what she did, she bought some stuff in Egypt that had my name on it, that had, like memorable pieces, right? That had Urban CEO, my nonprofit, that had Taria on it, like a wallet, a passport. So one of the other things you could do that makes people happy is people love gifts. And so you could say, hey, if you want, you can also buy some of these customized passports that you can give to other people, and guess who sells them? You do, because every single time you go on a trip, you make sure that you purchase those items that you can share. So another thing people love is gifts, and giving gifts make people feel happy. I know if I have the opportunity to be able to give to someone and give to them in abundance and give to them freely without thinking about it, it makes me feel good. So that's another stream of income that you can bring in. And then if somebody wants to learn how to be a travel person, you can incorporate, hey, help other people to travel. So that's now a third stream of income. See, your book becomes multiple streams of income when you truly understand the power behind it. See, most people, what we're only focusing on is writing a book to tell my story versus writing a book to tell people how to do stuff. When you write a book that gives them information, which by the way, right now is a $100 billion industry. What do I mean by that? Is that if you Google how to ... and then you look up some information and you take it, whatever people Google, they will buy, okay? If somebody is willing to Google it, guess what? They will pay for it. So you need to position yourself in anything. Guys, and this is the thing, just because your neighbor is talking about how to be successful, but you know how to organize real well, you don't got to duplicate what your neighbor does. You could talk about organization, okay? So anyways, this is good. Multiple streams of income. Number 3, leverage. Okay, some of y'all want to get on the news. I'm pretty sure we're going to have many people talking about media and social media and things like that, right? Yes, honey, if somebody Google it, they will pay for it. Yes, ma'am. Hello. Yes, sir. Okay, leverage. Okay, so some of us want to get on the news, right? Well, writing a book about a good saucy topic, I want everybody to say saucy, because saucy, I like that word, saucy, right? Everybody say saucy. When you write a book about a good saucy topic, what happens is, y'all, is that the news, they want you to be up on their stations. Let me tell you why. It's because they always looking for some information. This is why also some of y'all that have been sitting on y'all books for 2 years, you tripping. You need to write a book to write another book. Joel Osteen keep coming out with books. Bishop T.D. Jakes keep coming out with books. And I know these are all pastors, but y'all should pay attention, because if you want to figure out how they really make money, then make it by leveraging their books. Joyce Myers, I never see Joyce Myers on stage without a new book that she is promoting and or selling. Yes, saucy. I see you on Periscope, Demond EM. Hello, how you doing? Okay, so leverage. We're gonna leverage it. You want to get on the news, you gotta leverage it. You want to speak at events, you gotta leverage it. So now let me explain to you. So you've gotten this book now that's saucy. It's gotten you on the news, or it's gotten you at a conference, it's gotten you at an event. But let me tell you where people mess up. They don't leverage their book. How you got books and don't nobody know? Excuse me, ma'am, sir, you got a book and you gonna tell me you got on ABC News and your book was not in your hand? You mean to tell me that you got, even if you got 10 minutes to speak on a stage, your book was not in your hand? Oh, you went to that networking event and they gave you 60 seconds to introduce yourself and your book was not in your hand? Ladies and gentlemen, your book is going to be the tool that brags for you. You don't got to brag about yourself when you got your book in your hand. So whenever you get up in front of people, you got to learn how to leverage that baby, okay? So when I get up and speak, I got a book right now called How Not to Be a Broke Author. It became a New York's. I'm speaking it. Yes, Jesus. Won't he do it? Received. But it really became an Amazon bestseller, which, by the way, I have a whole conversation about that. We're going to get into it right now. I got enough time. But it became an Amazon's bestseller. And so whenever I go to events, I always have my book, that book, and my Six-Figure Vision book with me, right? Okay, I have that book and my Six-Figure Vision book with me. And what I do is I get up and I have those books in my hand and I read something from the book. I don't care if I only got 60 seconds. I'm going to take 10 seconds out my introduction to actually read something from the book. Okay, does that make sense? So you got to learn how to leverage it, because when you leverage it, guess what? Now I'm telling everybody, hey, I help people to build their business by becoming authors. I've got a book in my hand that actually validates that's what I do, and guess what I'm going to end up doing? I'm going to leverage that, and now I don't have to, say all these great accolades, because guess what? People are like, can I get your book? Can I hold your book? Is your book for sale? You better believe my book is for sale. How you doing? $20. Okay, now let's get into this. How to get started. How to get started. I don't have a lot of time, so I got to hurry up, y'all. How to get started. These are 3 things that you need to figure out. Before you even start writing your book, people be messing up with this too, honey, because they don't. Let me tell you something. The reason why I wrote my book was not because I wanted to be to tell my story, and I know everybody wants to tell their story. In fact, if I was to ask everybody right now on this broadcast, how many of you guys have an amazing story, 100% of you are going to say, Taria, I have an amazing story. 100%, not 10, not 20, not 30. 100% of y'all are going to say, Taria, I have an amazing story, right? I have an amazing story. Well, guess what? Everybody think they got an amazing story. So when I'm saying that you don't write the book to tell your story, you write the book to help people, this is why you must do it, okay? So let's get into this. How to get started. First thing you got to figure out, guys, is who is this book going to help? Who is this book going to help? And I'm telling you, if you're one of those people going into 2020, maybe in 2019 you said this all the time, right? You said, well, I help everybody. Lord Jesus. Let me bless them. Let me bless them. I help everybody. If you're one of those people that say, I help everybody, I want you to understand that everybody got different challenges. Y'all hear me? Listen to what I'm saying. An 18-year-old does not have the same challenges that a 25-year-old has. A 25-year-old does not have the same challenges that a 40-year-old has. A 40-year-old has different challenges than a 70-year-old. Let's keep it all the way funky out here in these streets. A woman that is newly married does not have the same challenges of a woman who's been married for 20 years. They have 2 different types of challenges. That's like saying, I I've got some problems going on with my brain, but I'm going to go ahead and holler at this heart surgeon because the heart surgeon said, well, I dibble and dabble in everything. No, ma'am, no, sir. I don't got time to be trying to work with no heart surgeon if I got brain challenges. Are you understanding me? So when I say who are you going to help, you've got to figure out specifically who is that person. What are the challenges that they are having? Why is it that they're going to wake up in the middle of the night, Google something? How can I do this? Your book is going to pop up or your face is going to pop up and they're going to say, I need you. You got to know who exactly you are helping. Who will this book help? And it cannot be everyone. And stop trying to be so general because general don't get you paid. The person who makes the most money is the specialist. The person who makes the most money is the one who says, this is my niche. This is who I serve. And guess what? I'm going to hone in and become the best at helping single, newly divorced women with children who are off to college, who are empty nesters. You got a whole niche area. So now you know where to find them and you know what they're looking for. Okay, you got to get niche because niches get riches. Everybody type that in. Niches get riches. Niches get riches. You cannot serve everyone. You cannot help everyone and expect to touch the masses. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. All right. And another thing. Let me just add this. How much time I got? I ain't got a lot of time. I got to hurry up. Let me give you something else too. Another thing I want y'all to understand. If you focus on touching a niche, what will happen? It will make you rich, but what will happen is that your network will expand. You understand what I'm saying? And then another thing, when you focus on a niche, this is real cool. When you focus on a niche that you are highly connected to, you can be your damn self. Did y'all hear me? Oh, Jesus. I hope somebody catches that. If you caught that, if you just caught what I just threw down, I want you to let me know. Okay, number 2, how to get started. How will you help? So you're thinking about John Doe, Jane Doe, what challenges they have, how who's this book going to help specifically. Now you got to figure out how you're going to help them. Because trust me when I go, let's go back to everybody got a story. Don't nobody care about your story. Everybody care about how can you help me. I'm telling you guys, and I know that sounds harsh. People don't want to hear me say that when I say it. The truth is this, y'all. People don't care about all of that. I hear all what you saying, Taria, but first of all, how are you going to help me? How is this going to help me? Because right now I'm dealing with this. I need to know the steps. How did you learn how to do that? How did you overcome that? How did you push through? How in the heck did you survive that? So you must understand how specifically is this book going to help, okay? Or how is whatever your end product. People don't go to a hairstylist just to get their hair done. They go to a hairstylist for different reasons. Because otherwise, if you needed to just get your hair done, you could just wake up, throw your hair in a ponytail, and keep it moving. But the reason why you go get it done professionally is because you want healthy hair. Why do you want healthy hair? Because the world has told you that healthy hair is beautiful. And why do you want to be beautiful? Because beautiful will lead to confidence. Why do you want to be confident? Because confidence will lead to me getting that man. See, everything boils down to a reason. And so you got to figure out, what is this going to help them with when you write this book? Number 3, what is the next step? Well, the next step, now that you figured out who you're going to help, how you're going to help them, then you got to figure out the steps. See, for me, guys, I like my books to be real simple. We live in a society today where everybody likes stuff simple. A lot of us is trying to complicate stuff. You're making stuff too deep. You're doing too much. Look, most of us are surface level, and I just want you to understand that. While we thinking we being so deep and we, I'm getting deep, I'm getting deep. No, the truth is, guys, most people, they want you to keep it real simple for them and get straight to the point. So the next thing is, what is going to be the next step? So when somebody reads my book, I need to then redirect them to the next step. Okay, for example, if somebody reads my book, How Not to Be a Broke Author, Tisha says she caught it. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. How many of y'all caught it? How many of y'all caught it? Who said they caught it? Okay, Rhonda says, I got it. Okay, Tanisha says, got that. Okay, look. When somebody reads my book, How Not to Be a Broke Author, do you know why I wrote that book? I wrote that book because, of course, since I'm in the space of helping entrepreneurs to write books to grow their business, guess what I always come across? I always come across authors. But I also know this for a fact that 80% of most authors make below minimum wage. It's a lot of authors out here that ain't making no money, aka broke authors. And my intention is that you're not a broke author anymore. Deborah says she caught it. Jacqueline says she got it. Look, ain't nobody got time to be out here writing these books, leaving these legacies, and making no money. Look, that's called book busy and broke. And for 2020, we're trying to be booked, busy, and as Danny would say, banked. Book busy and banked. BANKED, okay? And the only way you can be booked, busy, and banked is you must always be redirecting your people to the next step. So where people mess up is they write these books and they don't lead that person to whatever the next step is. I don't want you to read my book, How Not to Be a Broke Author, and then you don't move to the next step. Ultimately, I want you to schedule a session or come to a conference or something that is designed so that you can have ultimate success. The truth is this, guys, if people were going to have success by themselves, they would have already done it. So your goal when you write this book is to be able to redirect that reader to whatever your next product, whatever your next service is, so that they can have the ultimate success on what it is that they're looking to obtain. So we just talked about how to get started. Number 3, marketing your book. So let's get into this. I got 3 minutes, y'all. Lord Jesus, I got 3 minutes. Okay, so marketing your book. Let me tell y'all something. The biggest mistake I see people think is that, number 1, if I become an Amazon bestseller, my life is going to change. The income going to roll in. No, honey, I know a lot of booked, busy, and broke Amazon top sellers. No offense to anybody who is one, because guess what? I'm one as well. And I did that for a purpose, because I focused on becoming an Amazon bestseller so that I could tell you it ain't a whole lot of profit. I became an Amazon bestseller. My commission was $50. For all the books I sold as an Amazon's bestseller, because I made them 99 cents and I sold them. I think I sold under 100 in 24 hours. Okay, and so please understand that focusing on trying to get a title does nothing. What you want to focus on is results. Results will always get you the titles you need. If you want to be able to get titles, get you some results. Get you some coin, because the coin you can buy them. You know, people out here buying stuff, right? Okay, so what you got to focus on is the results. Guys, the only ways you can get the results is you must be willing to roll your sleeves up and get out here in these streets and grind. Okay, you should roll your sleeves up today. If you've already got a book, honey, we need to be making sure every single day somebody knows about your book. How you doing? Are you going to events? I know Danella said, go look up events, networking events, workshops, etc., etc. Whenever you're speaking, you need to be having the books. If they don't give you a vendor table, guess what I do? I've been at events before where I speak. They ain't give me no vendor tables, so guess what? I'm going to have my books stacked up right at my section. If they have tables where I can sit down at my table, I'm going to have my books stacked up right there. If I don't, I'm going to walk up in front of everybody with stacks of books in my hands, because when people see more than one book, they automatically assume, guess what? That they can buy something. Yes, and it's $20, the easiest thing to sell. You got to roll your sleeves up and get out here to market your book. And I want y'all to understand, I don't care who you hire, nobody is going to market your book better than you. I have spent a lot of money in this space hiring people to get me in front of people, and every single time the best results I've ever received was when I rolled my sleeves up to Rhea Vision of Vaughn and got in front of the audience and marketed myself. Number 2, never leave home without your books. I know Elisa's watching right now, Lisa Mitchell, and she'll let you know, honey, any and everywhere she go, catch this, any and everywhere she goes, she walking away with some bank, because she don't ever leave home without her books. She's always posting pictures of people with her books, because she sells them things everywhere. In fact, let me give you a little tip. Okay, I got 30 seconds. Let me give you a little tip. I will sometimes go purposefully. Now, I know who my target audience is. I know where they like to hang out. This is why you need to know who you're going to help. So I like to hang out where they hang out, because that means I'm going to be booked, busy, and banked. Okay, so I like to sit at the bar, too. I like to sit at the bar, because at the bar, that's where people are more, they like to converse with you a little bit. I was about to say conversate. They like to converse with you a little bit more, right? So you're sitting at the bar, and you should have multiple copies of your book beside you. When you have multiple copies of your book beside you, guess what happens, ladies and gentlemen? Somebody eventually that's drinking a little courage juice. By the way, you might not, some people will say, I already know, oh, what's your real drink? Look, first, get over yourself. You can sit at the bar and drink water. Y'all, stop coming up with every kind of excuse in the book to keep you from having success. You can get you some water. You ain't got to drink break when you sit at the bar. They're not gonna kick you out. Okay, if you ain't got no money, you get you some hot water, get you some teas. You know, get your $1.50 tea and sip it at the bar, and you have your 2 books right there. Because if you sell them 2 books, you just made $40. So what people do is they say, "Oh, is that your book?" Because I got 2 books there of the same book. So eventually somebody's like, "Oh, is that your book?" Yes, it is. It's $20. I want y'all to go try that. Yes, it is. It's $20. What? Really? Yeah. And do you accept card? You better believe it. I'll pull out my Stripe. And no, I don't do Cash App. I am an entrepreneur, y'all. I need to be able to keep track of all my expenses. I do Stripe. I do Square. I take credit cards. I'm going to swipe your card. Let's go ahead and put your card in here and let's get you rolling. And I keep my swiper everywhere with me. How you doing? And so I make sure that I never leave home without my books. When I go to networking events, if they have where it's tables, I put 2 books there. If I go to lunch and learns, I put at least 2 books there. Y'all, I set up shop everywhere I possibly can. Some of y'all got these books out here, don't nobody even know you wrote one. But as soon as somebody asks you, have you read a book? Oh, I've written 10 books. Do you got one with you? Excuse me, how you got 10 books, darling, and you have not one with you? You should never leave home without your books. That is your ATM machine. Cha-ching. Okay, number 3, be intentional when selling. Guys, you got to be intentional. I'm going to tell you something. When you go out in these streets every single day, when you leave this door, you must be intentional with your action. Too many of us are throwing stuff at the wall and we're hoping that it sticks. If you want to be able to sell books, you must know how many books this week do you plan to sell and how are you going to sell them. Be very specific. Are you going to do some webinars? Are you going to do some broadcasts? Are you going to go to, vendor at some networking events? Be intentional. If you want to sell 50 books this month, 50 books times 20, that's $1,000. That's $1,000, okay? Guys, any and every single one of us can do it. Any and single every one of us can do it. Any and every single one of us can do it. But the key is you must be intentional with your action. Stop going out here just praying and wishing that, look, just because it's 2020, I want you to understand something. Who we are is still the same. Who we were yesterday, which was just a whole year ago, last year, which was yesterday, we are still the same person. So in order for things to change, we must change, number 1, what we say, but we also must change what we do. So when you leave out the house, make sure every single time you walk out the house, you are intentional. Today, I'm going to sell 5 books. If I don't sell 5 books, I ain't coming home. I'm serious. Some of us may think that's funny, but that is the truth. When you want success as bad as you want to breathe, you will make no excuses for not getting it done. You're going to go out here and make it happen, okay? If you can talk, you can make money. If you can walk, you can make money, okay? How you doing? All right, so here's the free. Here's the free. Here's the free. I know a lot of people wanted to know, how can I get my free gift? Well, I got a couple of gifts. I'm going to go ahead and give you my free ebook. I got an ebook right now on 6 reasons why you should write a book. This is going to get you started, but it's also going to get you access to a private webinar. All you simply need to do is go to iloveafreegift.com. 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 It's real easy. You need to go do it right now, though. As soon as we get off of here, you need to go to iloveafreegift.com. Okay? iloveafreegift.com. Hold on, .com. Let me make sure I got it going to the right place before we do that. iloveafreegift.com is where you guys are going to want to go so that you can get your free gift. I think that's the link. But we're going to get started on that. But make sure you're going to go to iloveafreegift.com. But I don't know if we have any questions here. I know that you had a couple people that maybe asked some questions in the previous calls. So before we get done with today's presentation, I definitely want to see, do we have any calls? So Terry, I know I went over a whole lot. I'm sorry. Look, I try to give as much as I can in the short amount of time that I can, but it's just so much that comes along with being an author, and I think a lot of times we miss out on that because we make it real simple. So iloveafreegift.com is where you want to go. But Terry, do you have any questions for your girl?